Hello, I'm Ryan Macasero, multimedia reporter. We are in Shaton Town, Negros Oriental Island. Behind me is where the late Governor Roel Degamo was laid to rest earlier. We have been following his funeral rites and his burial throughout the day. So just to give you some background of why this happened in Negros Oriental, this is a province of about 1.4 million people. Security has been tight throughout the day and emotions are very high, understandably so. It's not every day where you see a sitting governor assassinated in broad daylight, even in provinces that are strife with conflict. Again, these people behind me are still paying respects to the late governor. They are signing boards and they were wearing shirts calling for justice for the late governor. And the mass earlier was held at the Bonawan Catholic Church um, in which was presided over by Dumaguete Bishop Julio Cortez. He said during his mass that we pray for the cycle of unsolved killings in Negros Oriental will end. Politics, armed conflict, the drug war, combined with high poverty is what makes this island and this province a powder keg for violence. Cortez says, in death, Degamo has galvanized residents of the province to come together to fight impunity. And he said this is something good for the province that has come out of the late governor's death. And we've been talking to people throughout the day who have come out and really said they were going to stand for justice in the wake of the killing of Degamo and 8 others who were with him that day. And the anger and the resolution of the residents has been really palpable. You could really feel that there's some collective anger, there is some collective responsibility they want to take for protecting people in their island. And people, I think, are getting really, they said they're getting really tired of the cycle of violence happening here in Negros Oriental. We saw supporters cry and shout as Governor Degamo's body was loaded into the hearse in his home. This is his family property, which is about 2 kilometers away from the church, where they brought the body for the funeral rites and brought it back here, where they also had a gun salute earlier. That happened at the same site that you see behind us. So what really struck me was the residents who were calling for justice in a province where violence is often normalized and part of everyday news. We talked to the vice mayor of Pamplona, Joel Remolano, who said he was almost there that morning, but he had another event to attend the morning of the massacre. When we asked if he was scared, he said, and I quote, "Ubos na ang takot namin." What one resident told us was that they plan on making their calls for justice even louder. Remolano said, rather, he believes that the situation has gotten to a point where all of the security that we see across the province has become necessary in order to for the resident safety in order to secure everyone. Um, but I think if Degamo's death has really galvanized the people, then that would be something to watch, and it would be very interesting to see how that will have an impact on an island that has known violence for many decades. And even after the burial of Degamo, with Teves tagged by the Degamo family themselves, it looks like the political rivalry between these two families is far from over. And so it should also be something for the people to watch. And I think we also should remember that this is not only about Digamo. There were 8 others who were killed with him that morning in Pamplona town during the massacre. Janice Digamo spoke to the media after the burial and said her message to everyone is now is not the time to be afraid. And I just want to read the names of the 8 others who were with Governor Digamo that morning that he was assassinated. They are Jesse Botay, Jose Marie Ramirez, Jomar, Jomar Canseco, Crispin Vallega, Jerome Makiling, Florendo Kiniquito, Joseph Retada, and Michael Fubugais. So as we continue to tell stories of the senseless murder of Digamo, and I've been covering stories here in the Central Visayas for many years now and have come across many stories of violence like this, it doesn't escape us that today is not just about justice for Governor Digamo. It is, but it is also about every Filipino here in Negros Oriental and across the Philippines who has yet to see justice. And us here at Rappler, we will continue to tell stories and cover stories that of the everyday people who also have been killed in the drug war, in they're in armed conflict and due to political violence. So thank you for joining us on our coverage today. Again, I'm Ryan Macasero, Rappler, Negros